Hello and welcome back. It is an honor and privilege to have you here. This is Paolo, your host, and this is another conversation in artificial intelligence. I had to ask you another bad question, which is, okay, we have identified a trend. We have identified some recipes for success, which is basically partnership. And how do we go about building a product?
Yeah, so a few things. The first is when you're using partners and building your own technology, it's really important to understand what's going to be your intellectual property and what's going to be something you license and buy. And make sure that when you're building your product, that you actually are building on something you own where the real value is. So the example might be that if you have a bunch of documents and you need to get some structured data, use some of these partner technologies to get you some of the structured data and really build and own the models that create the new value. That's a good example. So follow the normal product recipe of understand your market and your competition, really understand your market problem and your market need. Use design thinking if you have the opportunity. And the reason I say that is understanding the journey map and the pain points that people have and really their emotional state through that journey is really important, because what a lot of people end up doing is they say, well, there's so much I could do with AI. You may not actually need to do everything. So understanding when you say we're going to assist people in, that's what our product does, then it's make sure you understand that journey. And if you're going to automate something, make sure you really understand the value. So a lot of people don't take the time to really understand how valuable is automation of something, because what you want to do is a value-based pricing of whatever it is that you're automating. And an example is there's a lot of vendors right now and startups who are making new products to automate human tasks. And there's a pretty good recipe that's pretty typical for taking time and the value of that time and selling it as software. And you can easily underprice yourself or overprice yourself. The third part is make sure that you actually understand, do you own the data? Do you have rights to use the data? And then how much work is it actually going to be to do all of the collection, the munging, and all the labeling of that data? So for example, in a few of the cases I've worked on, we're working with very senior people who are very expensive. So it takes actually a lot of duration for us to do some of the labeling and some of the annotations, but and we have to do a lot of work because we only get maybe an hour or two with these subject matter experts. And we tend to be focusing a lot on the design of how do we get the implicit data from when people are using these applications that we're building to actually further develop our models, or even in many times automate a lot of the creation of our models.